Time blindness. Apparently, it's nearsightedness of the future. That's what Dr. Russell Barkley describes time blindness as. And I'm here reflecting about the conversation I had with Ari Tuckman, world renowned ADHD expert for adult ADHD. And I got him on the podcast this week to talk about time blindness because that was a massive insight for me. And it made a lot of sense to me while I had challenges with my schedule, timing, overachieving expectations of how long things would take, underestimating, overestimating, being late, always running on the edge, and missing deadlines, and thinking I was a failure because society says you should not be doing that stuff. Just organize yourself, try harder, and it wasn't working. And when I heard the term time blindness when he was doing a presentation with Attitude Magazine, it made a lot of sense to me. And the three things I think is very key for you, the ADHD entrepreneur, to understand. Big concept. So before I get too far in that, how about I say time blindness is about how you see time and how you feel it. Like it's nearsightedness of the future. We have temporal discounting challenges, which means, rewards in the far future doesn't really entice us as well as it does something immediate, like right now or even tomorrow. And that's what he said has a lot to do with feeling the future. And then your time horizon, how far can you see in the future that makes sense to you? And for me, it's a week and a half. Other than that, I might as well call it 100 years from now. Anything will work within that period. So the main point I think is very key here, and I really learned from this episode about time blindness with Ari Tuckman, is feeling the future is the challenge. If we can't feel the future, its urgency or its need is very hard to assess it. So something that's 2 weeks from now, I have a lot of time. I don't feel anything for it. But other people will be, 2 weeks, it's a big project. They feel that future and they can plan for it and execute it. So I like that. Not only that I can't see far in the future or understand it, it's also that I don't feel it. And to me, that was a big differentiator. One of Ari's recommendation that I think is very key for us entrepreneurs to understand is we need to be more intentional about our time blindness. So him being sane was also saying, be honest about it, be open about it. Okay. Own it. It doesn't matter. In the end, like he said, would you rather be known as the person who writes it down? A lot of people, it's a shame to say, stop. I want to write it down. I want to make sure it's everything. That's a you problem. Oh, I can't believe I just said that's what my girls say. But anyways, I think you're best to be known as a person who writes everything down and executes versus the one that claims to remember everything and disappoints everyone because they're not doing it. And I think that's where a lot of ADHD undiagnosed people had a lot of challenges in the past. Because of our time blindness, we disappointed a lot of people because we're either trying to keep with the norm or we believe we can remember all this stuff because we're excited at the time. Then it goes off. Working memory. If you don't write it down, don't put it in there. It doesn't matter. It's gone. It's not that we forget or don't care. It's just literally gone. So if we're more intentional about the time blindness, means owning it, not being ashamed by it. Intentional is meaning, like, I love this one. Don't hire a wimp as an assistant. That person needs to keep you accountable and will take you a lot longer than you expect. Or I need this by this certain day so we can move the project along because they're not blind to time. They feel the time. I don't. I need that accountability from my team to do that. I took my ego out of it. Doesn't matter. I need that support in order for me to do well, to do what I do best. And I have them take care of the time. And it's great. But you need to not be upset when they remind you that you're late or you need to do stuff. You need to have a non-wimp that's able to talk to you and not in an intimidating way. And you're not intimidating them. So in a way, at the same time, too, what I've done very well is making time visible. I put everything I need to know that's far in the future, somewhere where I can see it all the time. It's not buried somewhere. It's not buried on my computer. I have notification reminders. So if I need to do something important, like in 2 days, it's my daughter's birthday, I have a 2-day reminder. I had your daughter's birthday's coming up in 2 days. That gives me a heads up that's within my wheelhouse because I will completely forget until I get that notification. So these little tricks and trades helps you look great at the same time, but reminds you, and you don't have to remember that stuff. And I don't think there's anything wrong saying I don't remember everyone's birthdays, but I got a mechanism that reminds me of them. So I don't do the notification the day of, because I probably have to do um, um, run presents, do stuff, or be home. Like actually this year, I booked something for the evening of my daughter's birthday, and I got a 2-day notification it was her birthday. Like, oh crap, forgot about that. Canceled the appointment, and I was home, and I stayed home. So stuff like that. There's nothing to shame about using the calendar and these apps to just remind you of stuff. Making time visible, and hire people to do the things you don't want to do, and who can manage time, feel time. Let their unique ability, let their skills support you. I'm blind to time. That's the way it is. I tell everyone, I need you to let me know if you need something from me, because guess what? It's not on my radar. I don't feel it. I like it when things are urgent. It becomes last minute, but we can't work that way. And guess what? The thing is, it might work well for me, but it doesn't work well for my team, because they get anxious. They get stressed that I'm not doing my part, and I'm going to wait till the last minute for everyone else to do their last minute stuff. And that's not fair to them. And to me, the final thing was really cool. I thought I would stump them, but visionaries, we're all about envisioning the future. All right. So the future, we see it. We can, that, in a way, we feel that a bit differently. And I asked them, what's the difference? If we're blind to time, so how can we be visionaries? And it was simple. Visionaries envision the future. The execution of it is the challenge. And that's so true. I know how we want to achieve it, what milestones, what steps to do for this future that I'm envisioning, but that's it. It's just a picture. It's a vision. But from today till then, the execution of, I can figure out the milestones, A, B, C, D, and E. But Ari also explained the A1, the A2, the A3, the A4. That's where we, the ADHD brain, or the people who are time blind, fall off the wagon. Okay. And it's not, I'm not saying fall off the wagon that we're failures. It's just, that's not our skill. Our brain is just not wired to do it that way. So hire someone to take care of that. So that's why you need a team to help execute your vision. Maybe you know how to get there, but the actual how many steps and which roads to take, the execution has to be taken care of by other people, or people who are honest and true to you to say, doable, not doable. I'm sorry, that's going to take 3 years, not 2 months. And you need this type of support around you. So for me, time blindness was a huge eye opener and made a lot of sense to me. And I started to have more visibility. My calendar is color coded, so I understand what I'm seeing quickly, not have to investigate everything. I got things on whiteboards all over the place. These are my main projects I need to be aware of that are in the future. My goals that are based way beyond my time horizon of 1 week to 1.5 weeks. But it's there so I can see it all the time and I don't lose it. And I'm not ashamed by it. People go, oh, why do you have all that stuff written up? So I don't forget. It's the way it is. I'm okay with it. You have to be okay with it. Figure out your time blindness. Figure out your time horizon. That was a big deal for me when I understood my time horizon, that time frame, and own it. That's the way it is. Your ability is not to track time. Your ability is the visionary entrepreneur growth mindset. So thanks again for listening. Let me know what you think of this time blindness, and reach out anytime. Love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for learning with me. Take care.